Welcome back. It's your boy Fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Co-ople of nerds. And today we are celebrating our 2-year YouTube anniversary. But before we begin, don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right. 2 years on YouTube.
Yeah, doesn't really feel like it's been that long. But I think time flies by quicker when you're old.
You mean it's this many?
This many.
So we did want to give a little update for our daughter Grace. I know a lot of people reached out and sent prayers and happy thoughts, which meant a lot to us. And we realized we never really gave the full story. Of course, at the time, we didn't know the full story. So
lots of specialists.
Yeah, Mary, go ahead and take it away. I'll intervene.
It's not that complicated. She kept getting ear infections, upper respiratory infections, pre-pneumonia. And so she was on like her third set of ear tubes, and her asthma was just out of control. And so they thought she got sick a little too much. So they did some antibody testing on her and found out that she had something called specific antibody deficiency, which meant that she didn't develop antibodies to any of the different strains of pneumonia, and also for some reason tetanus, even though she had been vaccinated for those. So
as all babies are.
Yeah. And she got her tetanus booster, which was standard for a 4-year-old, and then she got the old people pneumonia vaccine.
Right.
So you can only get it twice in a lifetime.
Which is crazy.
I didn't realize that either. So she got the vaccine. It's called Pneumovax 23, and they said if she responds to at least half of the 23 strains in the vaccine, then she will be fine. And if she doesn't, then she will need these special infusions to boost her immune system.
Right. And
she responded to 14 of the 23. So she did very good.
Right, yeah. The infectious disease guy was hoping for 9. And she got 14. So that was really good. But basically for what was that, about 4 months? Basically, one of us had to stay home at all times.
She had to basically quarantine because she was susceptible to pneumonia.
And that's what had us cancel Gen Con. That's what had us cancel Midwest Game Classic. We couldn't risk going out, getting pneumonia.
Or COVID even, because COVID, the secondary pneumonia infection is what's extremely serious for people who are like her. And so...
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know about pneumonia because, COVID gets all the headlines, AIDS gets all the headlines, cancer gets all the headlines, but typically what actually kills you is getting pneumonia. So AIDS will weaken your immune system, COVID will weaken your lungs, cancer just weakens everything.
Yeah.
And then pneumonia comes in and wipes you out, and with her not having any antibodies to pneumonia, we had to be extra careful, so we had to cancel those conventions, which stunk,
and quarantine her away from her own brother and two brothers.
I mean,
sort of in a way. I mean, just really careful about keeping the toothbrushes separate and no sharing drinks or sports or anything like that. Yeah. So, which was weird.
And then you don't think of, you basically had a daughter on house arrest.
Yeah.
So, if one kid had a doctor's appointment, the other one of us had to come home and stay with Grace. Same thing with going to school.
She was the one who had all the doctor's appointments. She just had
just
doctor's appointments. But the other kids still need their
regular dental checkups or anything else, haircuts. I mean, just everything that you have to take a kid to. Basically, one of us had to stay home at all points in time. But we're very happy that the second vaccine really paid off, really did the trick. Now, unfortunately, later in her life, maybe they'll have a better vaccine. I mean, I think you typically get it when you're 60.
Yeah.
She's got 56 years, and maybe they'll get a better vaccine going
Maybe.
for her older age.
As of now,
Probably long dead by then, so it doesn't matter.
the infectious disease doctor says she no longer has an immune system problem.
Right.
So, and this is specific antibody deficiency is something that typically it's not that uncommon, and kids outgrow it.
Right.
Almost all kids do.
Right.
We're just lucky that it didn't have to get super serious with infusions and everything like that.
And they went through a lung biopsy at one point in time. It was
We turned down the lung biopsy.
allergy testing.
The allergy testing was a shock. She wasn't allergic to anything.
When we were trying to diagnose it and seeing all these specialists, I'm sitting there, she's sitting on my lap, I'm holding her and holding her arms down at the same time, and this doctor
They prick them 40 times with these different histamines.
Right, yeah, if you never had it, it's basically 40, or is it 30?
Hers was 40.
40 small shots. And this, to this nurse's credit,
She was fast.
it was the fastest. She was 4 shots in before Gracie realized, oh my God, someone is stabbing me in the back. But I mean, they make an entire grid all the length of your back, like the little squares.
Yeah.
And write down, dog, cat, mold. There's like 10 different molds on there. 10 different plants.
And for someone with asthma as bad as they said that she had it, she wasn't allergic to anything.
A very small cat allergy, which is probably for me. I'm very lightly allergic to cats. That was it.
Yeah.
And the histamine, because they give you just straight histamine as the final needle.
She responded to that.
And that one responded.
That
so
meant that
it wasn't
the control was...
Yeah, the control.
Yeah. So, yeah, and she saw the pulmonologist today, and he's just amazed at how good she's doing and how she could get a cold and doesn't almost get pneumonia.
Right. So again, thank you for all the prayers and well wishes.
Yes.
That meant a lot to us when we were going through that.
Yes, it has been a tough time.
But now it's time to talk about 2022. It's kind of interesting that our anniversary basically falls on New Year's. January the 10th, I think, is our anniversary. I have to go back and double check. But anyway, that's when we did the 1-year anniversary the first time, so I'll just keep it the same.
You had a New Year's resolution, I guess, of starting a channel, huh?
That's right. That's right. And I just drug you into it. So we had 92 videos this year.
The goal was 100.
The goal was 100. I don't think we'll do that again this year. I think this year is going to be more about
quality
than quantity. And not saying that we've slacked off on some of our quality, but you can always get better. I can always get better at editing. I can always get better at, we don't typically use scripts except for some of our skits and little
and unique
things like
ideas.
That. Yeah, unique ideas. We got some in the works that we're going to share with you today.
Yeah.
Feel free to leave your
suggestions.
Yeah, suggestions. Feedback is always appreciated, positive and negative. Just don't be a dick about it. So Mary had an idea about doing her top 37 items for her birthday in late February. So I think she's going to do 12 movies, board games, video games, and then
the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time. It'll probably just be a picture of me. Yeah.
Just like the number one thing, so it could be a
number one
movie,
item in your collection.
No, not collection. Because if I did that, then I don't have much of a collection of anything other than Polly Pockets.
What's yours is mine, Pumpkin. It's not like I've never ever told you don't touch anything.
I'm trying to think what in your collection I might envy.
I've got lots of envious stuff. We also wanted to start doing some more top 10 lists, video games and board games. When we were on with Retro Rivals, Jen mentioned several times that we need to start doing top 10 board games, and so we'll mix in that. So we got one planned for Valentine's Day.
Yep.
That'll probably be the first one. We really want to do a playthrough of Song of Horror. I keep singing that game's praises, and I don't think it's as well known as some other games in the collection.
And it'll give you the chills.
Yeah. So that'll probably be a Halloween thing, and all of this is subject to change.
Right. These are goals.
Goals, not
goals.
Well, plans. Plans change.
Yeah.
Card is subject to change. You hear that on every fight. We want to do a playthrough of Ni no Kuni 2.
The board game.
The board game. That review is by far and away our most popular video. I don't think the quality is all that good on it. It was before I got my newest editing software. It's on the old editing software.
It's a good board game, though.
It's a good board game.
I think people are more interested probably in the video game.
Yeah, the video game series is very popular. I just don't think it was a very big board game.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing we want to do is empty it's not full.
It's like a
less
than half.
Yeah, half full. We want to empty a 6-foot movie shelf. So I think we're going to have to get rid of
some movies.
Roughly about 300 movies. Now that's thickness of movies. So like, if your average DVD is that thick, the box, but then you got like a box set that's that thick, that count as multiple. Because our collection's gotten too big for the spot it's been allotted. Now
we need to watch a lot of horror pack.
We got a lot of horror, and I think we got about 120 on this shelf. We probably got about 200 movies upstairs, and I don't want the other two. We got 3 movie shelves, 1 7-foot, 2 6-foot. I don't want those so tight that if we buy a new movie, we don't have no place to put it.
Yeah.
So, I've probably had a movie collection longer than I've had a video game or board game collection. I've always been a real big fan of movies, but there's some stuff in there that
it's not necessary anymore.
I mean, we probably
there's a lot of movies you watch that after you've seen it once, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, which is fine, Mm-hmm. Typically, we'll buy our movies used, unless they're brand new ones that we're really excited to see. So if we spend $3 on a movie, sell it back to them for $1,
and
we basically paid $2 to rent a movie, which is
that's standard.
Yeah, like back in the day, old Blockbuster prices. So yeah, once we get that emptied out, we can. Because right now I've got my Xbox One just in a regular shelf, and they're stacked on top of each other, and I really don't like that. Yeah. And then our other shelves, the consoles have been all mixed together, squished together, so need more room. Let's see, we're going to continue to focus on the backlog.
Yes.
We did the Christmas special, which was, I think, pretty popular. I think a lot of people got a kick out of that. Continue to focus on that. We got a little bit more of a stable board game group, so I think that'll help the board games. We got to buckle down on the video games.
Now, I think, with Grace being better,
mm-hmm.
I think we're sleeping a little more consistently.
Right.
No more 3 a.m. emergency room visits. So, I think we do have a little more time.
Yeah.
So.
Then we also moved the PS4 upstairs, which I think helps. I think if we have one system in the bedroom, this is not enough room.
Just fall asleep playing PS4.
Yeah. We want to start doing some challenges.
Yes.
I saw all these great videos, again, shouting out Retro Rivals. They had, my numbers might be slightly off, but I believe Scott beat 31 and Jen beat 38 games in the year. And I was like, now some of those crossed. They did cooperative games.
Okay.
So they weren't all unique to each other's lists, but I was like, I think the last, I got to think, I thought the last game I beat was Maneater, but no, I beat Resident Evil 2 and 3 after that.
Okay.
The remakes, those are the last 2 games I've played enough to beat.
Well, if you're okay playing a game with a 2-year-old climbing all over you saying spill the beans, then it's totally fine, right? You can make time for it.
Climbing on me is fine. It's when he chucks the Hot Wheels. That's when it gets tricky.
He gets mad.
He gets mad. He wants to play Spill the Beans. You better be ready to play Spill the Beans.
Yeah.
We also want to do maybe a campaign challenge. Play a campaign game all the way through. That's going to involve a babysitter. My parents just got their 3rd dose of the vaccine, and your brother and his wife are always asking to, rent the kids for a weekend.
I don't know why they always want them. Can we have your kids? Sure. Why not? Take them.
But with all Gracie's health things, again,
Good.
My parents are sickly, and you don't want to send a sick kid over to their uncle's house.
Although they were always perfectly fine with it. No, we'll take her anyways.
Yeah.
And she had fun, and they do an amazing job taking care of those kids.
Yeah,
So
they're very good at it. It's also, I was a very good uncle. When you get them every day, you start to get a little wore down. We're still going to shoot for our 3 conventions: Midwest Game Classic, Gen Con, and Dice Tower Retreat.
Yeah.
Again, subject to change.
Really hope we can make Midwest Game Classic this year.
Yeah.
Really,
We've had to cancel twice now.
Yeah. Well,
I guess one.
Technically just once.
Yeah, one.
We just didn't have
canceled.
our results back yet.
Yeah.
And we really needed to make sure that we weren't going and exposing ourselves to a bunch of germs that we could bring home to her. So.
Right. We want to amp back up Kickstart My Review. That was a very popular and very fun segment we had on the channel.
We have so many Kickstarters that we get
I've got a
regularly.
Kickstarter addiction.
Yes. It's like, oh, there's another package on the porch, and I get really excited, and then it's not for me. But then it is kind of for me.
Yeah, I always let you.
I always have to wait until you get home, because I can't open your mail.
Yeah. Well, because it could be a present for you.
Could be.
And spoil the surprise. Yep, but now, opening week review, we were reviewing new games. That did not do so hot in terms of views, and I think I figured it out. Okay, so the board game community and the video game community, while they're on sort of the same path, they go in opposite directions. So, like, if you can find a rare Nintendo game that not many people have played, everyone's super amped up about it, wants to know about it, wants to know what you think. And board game, it's the exact opposite. They want the new hotness. If a game's a year old, they don't care. Like, it's weird how they sort of go in that exact opposite direction. And it's probably because there's a lot of reviews, or I guess it'll be more previews. So Sony sends a game to a channel early. They preview it because they want to have a big, pre-orders. Whereas we're getting it after release. So if you wanted to buy it new, you probably already did. I know a lot of people like to wait until the price drops because brand new video games are expensive. So I think that's sort of, we're hitting that middle zone that's not super popular. This year, 2022, is going to be the year of the dinger. So, like I said, our collection's gotten swole enough. We got to start trimming some fat. So I don't want to buy a ton of lots this year. We already got 2 subscription services with Video Games Monthly and Retro Game Treasure.
And Horror Pack.
That I was thinking more games though, that give us the more common popular titles. So in terms of pickups, I really only want to focus on harder to find games I really want, games I've always wanted to play, unless the kind of...
I think we hit a lot more of that towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
As it was like, okay, let's save up some money for Christmas.
And Midwest Game Classic and
Yeah.
Gen Con was also, in that sort of that same time period. We did some collaborations, mainly with Retro Mikey, Do You Nerd, and Retro Rivals, 8-Bit Glitch, 79, and Generation Pixel. We also did one with Lame Dad Retro Gamer and Iowa Gamer Dad. Get those names flip-flopped a little bit.
I love collabs.
Yeah.
Those are so much fun.
Yeah. When we did the Retro Rivals Mega Reunion collaboration, that was a lot of fun. We had to fix our camera issues that we had in the first one, which was a little embarrassing, but got it figured out. So we want to continue to do those. Then the other big one is organize / renovate the game room. We really want to do a game room tour, and we've seen some of y'all's game rooms, and it's making me mad. I'm looking at you, Retro Rivals, and
so this room wasn't the most well-maintained room by the previous owners. And so, and it wasn't updated. So, like I've already switched out a door with a newer, nicer door.
Lots of wood grain.
Yeah. So the wood grain's gonna go to match the rest of the house. We'll do the white finish. So I think it'll look really nice. And then, of course we'll have to get rid of the Colts switch plate.
Yeah. Basically, we got rid of the pool table and got a gaming table. Yeah, they really didn't have much in here. But yeah, we want to do a game room tour, but we got to get some spit polish on it first. Do some of the... It's not really... you replace drywall and makes it look better, but I guess if you didn't know the drywall was bad to begin with, you wouldn't know.
Well, it's like at the base of the stairs on the bottom of the drywall where things have come down the stairs, like to move furniture down here, there's holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Like, that couch slipped and put a big old hole in the wall.
But to be fair, that wall, you don't need a hammer to put in nails.
Yeah.
You could just push me with your finger. So yeah, that's it.
That's a long list of goals, I think.
That's a long list of goals and plans. See how many we get to. Like I said earlier, let us know any feedback. And let's see if we got 374 subscribers.
Okay.
The goal is 350, so we accomplished that goal. So
Right.
what's the goal for 2022?
500.
500?
Yeah.
Nice round number, 500.
Yeah. I know that's not as ambitious as it was for
Year
this
2?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But
tough.
I think it gets tougher.
Yeah, it does. And we suck at social media. That's probably our biggest weakness as a channel. I hate Facebook. I do.
I don't like social media either. I'm not on Facebook personally, but I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really on Facebook.
Yeah, me
So-
too. Every once in a while I'll post a picture of the kids because my aunt will start yelling at me, I ain't seen your kids. But other than that, it's too negative for me.
Yeah.
YouTube, I know once you get to a certain size, it starts to get a lot more negative. Right now, knock on wood, everyone, I would say 99% of the comments are positive or constructive. Every once in a while we'll get a little hate, but not too much. But yeah, we
just
don't
too busy
we
for
don't
it,
really
too.
market, so feel free. If you're big on social media, feel free to share our videos. tag us and stuff. We try to reply when we're tagged, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
we probably I thought about starting an Instagram in 2022 for the channel,
We'll have to see.
just because it's more pictures and less. I imagine there'll be less comments and negativity than Facebook, but I'm not on. I'm almost 40 years old. I'm not on Instagram.
What's them Instagrams?
Yeah. But yeah, here's to another great year of Co-ople nerding.
Yes.
I just made that up on the spot. You did okay. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Pumpkin. Well, 2 years in, how do you feel?
Old. Significantly older. You'd think 2 years wouldn't do that to you, but I'm aging very quickly.
And they say once you break 50, it all goes downhill from there. Sun kiss, hit me up. It's not frozen.
Well, it's really cold out in our garage.
I gotta go yell at a kid. Gracie!